Hello everyone! Welcome back! Today we are talking fashion. Spring is right around the corner and we must dress accordingly. So I thought that today would be the perfect moment to go over my favorite trends for spring-summer 2022. So get yourself a little glass of wine that I clearly have already been drinking because we have a lot to see. So let's start. Sorry for the interruption everyone, but I have two very exciting announcements. Number one, I decided to make myself a blog. So now I have a website where I'll be posting gift guides, shopping wish lists, products that I'm really loving, stories that I want to share with you, inspirational boards, trends, everything. And I will actually be breaking down my favorite trends from this video into little shopping guides, so you will be able to find a few pieces related to the trends that I'm showing you. So if you're interested in buying something, it just makes it a little bit easier and you have it at the tip of your fingers. And second very exciting announcement is the fact that we have reached 5,000 subscribers here on the channel. It's such a huge milestone and I am so happy and so thankful to have this amazing community. I talked about this before. I feel like I am really lucky because the people who are here are extremely kind and just so sweet and so connected. So thank you guys so much for the support and for spending your time here. As usual, I always love to hear what you think or what you want to see. So make sure to take advantage of the comment section because I read it a lot. And if you want to see something special, something specific, I will add it to my to-do list of videos to shoot. Thank you guys so much, and back to the video. So what I did was kind of similar to my last trend reaction video. I went over a few articles by Vogue and Harper's Bazaar, Who What Wear, and I will link those down below if you want to check them out and read them thoroughly. And I've selected the ones that I think go well with our style. Elegant, chic, feminine. There's a lot of good things this season. Last season was a little bit harder, this year is a little bit better. Beginning with colors. Now this is sort of continuation of what we saw last season, because for winter they were talking a lot about jewel tones, deep tones. This season we are continuing with the color story, but we are brightening it up. We're still searching for that color palette that is new, but doing it in a little bit more light and bright way. This season continues to be monochromatic, so we're seeing those columns of color, but it is a little bit brighter, kind of juicier, if you will. And I think this is so interesting because as consumers, we are paying more attention to aesthetics and to details, and I feel like that is really translating into what colors we choose to wear. So we're not just wearing any purple, it has to be the right shade of lavender or the right shade of orchid. It's not just green, it's Kelly green. It's not just pink, it has to be that bubblegum pink. And I do feel like this is a great way of dressing in a trend without getting out of your comfort zone. So if you like certain shapes, certain styles, even certain prints, you can always change up the color and feel like you're participating in the game a little bit. It just makes everything a little less boring, you know? Second trend that I am really loving, and I actually don't feel like this is a trend because it's kind of the way certain people dress, which is the quiet, discreet, low-key luxury. This is about dressing in really high-end materials, perfect fit clothes, neutrals. We see a lot of beiges, a lot of blacks, a lot of grays, a lot of all white looks. So really great having that all white, super bright, super luminous look. In terms of shape, we are talking about looser pants, we're talking again really well cut clothes, duster coats, shirts, palazzo pants, brands like Hermes, like Loro Piana, like The Row come to mind. And in this case, I think it is very hard to pull off with fast fashion. I'm a big proponent of democratic fast fashion, But for this trend, you have to be very careful with the fibers that you choose and with the color palettes that you decide to go with. And the fit is a non-negotiable. So maybe this would be the perfect opportunity to find those key elements from a wardrobe and find them in the perfect cut and shape and material for you, and maybe spend and invest a little bit more money in them. Something else that I'm really excited about is feathers and fringes. So we have been seeing a lot of embroidery in the last couple of years, a lot of sort of artisanal, handmade embellishments, which is okay, but it's not really exciting, is it? Unlike feathers and fringes, which are super fun, give you a lot of movement, texture, can be done in a very discreet way with just some detail or in an accessory, or you can go the whole other polar opposite and be just a statement in fringe or feather. They just add that drama that I feel like we're all in need of right now. A trend that I think is really consumer friendly and that can be done in a lot of ways is the whole cords situation. So a lot of brands have been doing the classic pantsuit. I have seen a lot of little jackets with mini skirts, a lot of flowy pants with a tighter top, all in one color. This one I think is really good because it will give you, again, that monochromatic look that we talked about in the beginning of the video, but you are also getting two pieces that can be combined with other pieces in your wardrobe in other occasions. So you can have the impactful version in a whole color block, and you can have the discreet version wearing those pieces separately. The goal here is to still aim for those juicy, very bright colors, which can be a bit of a bet, and you don't have to follow that. If you want something more neutral, you can, but I love how fun it looks when it is a little bit more colorful. A lot of designers have done it in more relaxed fabrics like knits and jerseys, but I prefer the more 60s courage silhouette, so a little bit more structure. We saw a lot of that in Dior. Chanel always does it. This one I am adding to my wardrobe for sure. Blazers are also a big thing, and we saw a lot of big, almost, do you remember that scene from Flashdance where she's wearing this huge blazer to dance and nothing underneath? I saw a lot of looks like that on the catwalk. I would go for a more traditional version of the blazer, but the blazer is still important no matter how big or how small. And it seems like this is sort of a result of so much time wearing pajamas, loungewear, sweatpants. We want some structure in our lives and in our wardrobe, and a blazer will always provide you that. It immediately gives off that powerful look. It will make any sort of more relaxed combination like a linen shirt with palazzo pants that more, not formal, but dressed up. And I feel like a good blazer is certainly an essential in anybody's wardrobe. So if you have to get one thing from this whole video, get yourself a blazer. In terms of shapes and forms, we have three very good trends to follow. Number one is draping. I am a huge fan of draping. I think it is super elegant, goes really well with the low-key luxury trend, because again, you are giving the most importance and you're highlighting the behavior and the features of that fabric. So how it falls, how it weighs on the body, how it shapes. I've seen versions of it being a little detail, like a little bit of pleating, and I've also seen whole draped gowns that are just spectacular. Draping is also a great way of adding movement to your look in a very minimal way. So if you're not going for sequins and feathers and fringes, draping might give you that little bit of intensity and drama. Second option is a little bit more out there. It is the puffy silhouette. We've seen a lot of puffy jackets and puffy coats, but they were all following kind of that comforter Dow jacket trend in the last couple of years. This time we're talking full-on cream puff. And what came to mind when I saw this were two time periods that you can choose from. You can either be an explosion of puffiness like in the 80s where a lot of sleeves, a lot of volume everywhere, or it can be a little bit more curated and a little more pinpointed like the 1950s silk taffeta, Balenciaga / Dior, Cecil Beaton fantasy, which is much more my style. But either way, it is again a bold statement, a fashion statement. After so long being locked up, we just want to show people that we still have style and we're not afraid to make mistakes. Choose the one that goes well with you and stay on that lane. This one is one of those trends that if you do not show that you're being confident and that you're actually feeling yourself in the dress, you will look a little bit like a mess. But just make sure to have your posture right, maybe beautiful hairstyle, be happy, be bright, and be puffy. Third shape that I'm really loving are trains or any kind of detail on the back of your look. I've seen this a lot. It can be done in a more exuberant, more detailed way with gowns and with party wear, but I saw a lot of options that were a little bit more minimalistic and a little bit more discreet, and they add that kind of ethereal, goddess-like detail that few things in the fashion world can give you. Depending of course on how you choose to style it or how big your train is, you'll get a different level of drama. Just have to ask your friends not to step on your train. In terms of prints, my favorite are the very graphic, bold stripes. We're not talking about pinstripes, we're not talking about Breton stripes, we're talking about graphic, bold stripes that can almost be seen as color blocking. A lot of black and white options, which if done wrong can look a little bit like I'm in prison or Beetlejuice. But if you do it right, if you style it properly, if you find the right width to the stripes, I think it looks really, really cool and very unexpected. And now for trends that I'm going to choose to ignore this season, we shall start with Y2K. Again, why? Enough. I know we are supposed to be vintage now. I mean, I'm 32 and people already consider the style of my time, which was like yesterday, something out of your grandmother's closet. I'm being retro, dressing like Britney Spears. You're not. Maybe I'm being delusional. Probably I'm being delusional, but I still think enough time has not passed for this to be nostalgic. Catsuits are also a big thing, and nope. Crops continue to crop up, no pun intended. And again, we're not doing it. Varsity is a big trend, which I feel like is a little bit costumey. If I was younger, I would probably like the varsity trend just because it is a little preppy and has that sort of retro college look. But no, it doesn't fit into my wardrobe anymore. And the big element that has been in every show is wearing a blazer with a little top or with a bra. I've seen a lot of people doing it on Instagram, influencers. They look very cool, they look very chic, but it's just not my thing. I need to be a little bit covered. What can I say? And I think the perfect way of wrapping up this video is going over a few styling choices from the shows and how we can use them in our day-to-day life. Starting with Armani, I love how they tied this scarf. Again, if you haven't watched my scarf video, I will link it here. Whenever you have a beautiful scarf that you want to show the pattern of, I think this type of knot is really good because it exposes the major part of the print. I probably wouldn't style it with a jacket, maybe with a strapless dress for an evening look, and maybe I would leave it a little bit more open just to have both shoulders showing, but still I think it's just a creative way of wearing a scarf. For Loro Piana, they gave us a lot of layering inspiration this season. This first look is an all white, again with that that monochromatic all white that has been very present this season. This is a jacket layered over a chunkier high neck sweater, and what I love is how they styled the sweater underneath. So they tucked it in only at the front. You have the high neck, so you get a little bit of that showing here, but also you can see that the sleeves of the jacket have been pulled up to show a little bit of the sleeves of the sweater, and this makes a big difference because you are having that cohesive detail all over your upper part, so really easy to replicate. The second look is this one, and I think this is a beautiful transitional outfit. First, the choice of color palette is perfect because it is all very coordinated. The yellow is put under the white coat, so you're not getting that burst of yellow. It is more of a secondary layer, and I love how they layered two coats together. Now, this could not be done in spring summer with a very thick material, but it seems here like it is maybe a crepe or a very light wool, and it works very, very well. And underneath, you just have a very basic t-shirt and a pair of trousers. This look from the row is also a great lesson in layering, so you have two shirts, one over the other. This is very effective because the shirt that is on top matches the color of the trousers, so it is almost like wearing a boiler suit with a shirt underneath. And the way they folded the sleeves is really great, and the belt finishing it off I think is a great little finishing touch. It's something that a lot of people don't do. Get yourself a really good belt and wear it in places that you wouldn't expect, like for cinching up a sweater or for closing a jacket. Just take advantage of that accessory as much as you can. And last styling tip comes from Chanel. The look itself is not my favorite, but I love how the model is wearing two bracelets on both arms that are the same. This is a great styling trick, really finishes off the look. In summer, given that our arms are bare and we don't have a lot of opportunity to accessorize and to add interest with clothes, I think jewelry is a great way, and to maximize the power of jewelry, nothing better than two bracelets. So this is it, everyone. These are my favorite trends for this season. I feel like we have been blessed with a lot of things that we can wear. Let me know down in the comments, have you seen the shows? Which trend is your favorite? Which one are you not wearing? No way, Jose. Like the video, subscribe if you want to, share with your friends, and we will see each other again next time. Bye!